then I got married here, and then once I was settled in Malaysia, like everything is very easy.
I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I think that the initial stage of when you converted to Islam, what you shared earlier, is about the emotional support.
Yeah.
The same thing applies towards everyone who wants to take a step towards hijrah or being a better Muslim. It is about changing our social surroundings. So what's your advice, Doctor?
This is not my experience, but the experience of some of my students.
Yeah.
Okay, so I had one student who he used not to pray, and he was in a house where none of his friends prayed, and then he realized, okay, I need to start praying. So he started praying, and my advice to him was, go out of your house, find some new friends so that the environment will be more supportive. I said, no, they're my friends. Don't worry. And every time I met him, he always told me about his problems. And the problems was always related to his friends. And I keep giving advice. I said, no. But actually, if you want to make new friends, it's very easy. You start going to the masjid, and you'll find that in the mosque, there's actually a lot of young guys, and you get to know them. And most of them are very friendly, and it's just like, I'm looking for a new place to stay. Can you make any recommendations? And then they will help you. And you're still with friends, but these are friends which are more supportive,
Okay.
and less toxic, right? I'll give you, this is, of all the examples that happened to him, this is the one that was the saddest. So a few of his friends were unemployed.
Okay.
He got a job,
Okay.
and he had a motorbike. And what his friends did when they found out that he had a job is, one of them basically cut the ignition from his motorbike.
Ya Allah.
Why?
What was his reaction?
Well, he knew who did it,
And then?
but he didn't want to make problems, so he just
Really?
spend his money and fix the motorbike. But if I'm no good, I want to make sure you're also no good.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's the mindset of some people. So again, I was giving advice, and just move out, find new friends. Say no. So I think sometimes people are too ready to accept toxic friends.
Accept.
Yeah.
To move on from that, you have to have the courage to just move on and find new friends, Doctor.
Yeah, I mean, that's what life is all about, right? You meet new people, and then because you meet new people, your life just becomes a lot easier.
Right. So I hope that is very beneficial for you out there who are making hijrah. This is a step that I think is very crucial, Doctor, maybe.
Yeah.
And you need strength to do that. And may Allah SWT give us strength to do what every other people who made hijrah, converting to Islam did, like, inshallah. So Doctor, I think we are running out of time. There's
Okay.
another phase of story that you want to share with us, which
Yeah.
is the plan of action. What to do for afterwards when everything settled down here in Malaysia, maybe?
Yeah. So basically, one of the things that I realized is that the process of discovering Islam is very simple. It has to start with getting to know the Quran. And the weirdest thing for me as a convert is when I meet so many Muslims who are born Muslims, they read the Quran every day, and they don't know what they're reading. And I
Is
know,
that your initial reaction when you came to Malaysia?
yeah, like what? Even the Malay translation, people are not interested.
Yeah.
But once you do kind of overcome that, and you start getting interested, and you start reflecting on the Quran, then literally just everything just falls into place.
Falls into place.
But the one thing that I've learned, which is I really believe is true, is that discovering the Quran is not something that happens like in a few months or 6 months. This is something you're going to spend the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So there is no hurry. But when you're a bachelor, Quran means something else. When you get married, it will mean something else. When you have kids, it will mean something else.
No.
When your parents die, it will mean something else. And as you get older and older and older, the same ayat will have a new
different
meaning,
effects.
new meaning, new interpretation, because you're going through different stages in life.
Subhanallah, subhanallah.
So actually, there's no right or wrong answer, and this is the mindset I think of my students, which I don't agree with, is they want a simple yes or no, right or wrong answer. This idea that you're going to have to read this ayat your whole life, and as you go through different stages in life, it will mean different things. They don't really grasp that yet.
Yes.
But once you kind of you get used to that, then the Quran is amazing, because it's always addressing your problems.
SubhanAllah. I think the majority of us would like to feel the experience of interacting with the Quran as how you describe your experience reading the Quran. So maybe some tips, Doctor, for early people like me and other audiences. What's the first step of us with the Quran? How do we engage the Quran?
Am I allowed to promote my own
Sure,
channel?
this is your channel.
So the whole reason why I started this YouTube channel is because it's either nothing or very complicated. Right, so there are a lot of ustads that have done, tafsir al-Quran on YouTube already.
Yeah.
But they already make it very high level.
Okay.
And what I'm trying to do is just try to demonstrate that you can have a very simple understanding of the Quran, but yet very meaningful.
Simple but meaningful.
Right, and it's literally just how can you relate this ayat to your life? Itu saja. You don't need to have like a super long, complicated discussion. It's literally how can you relate. If you're not sure, you can go to YouTube and start watching videos on this ayat, that ayat, or you can talk to ustaz, or you can talk to friends who know a little bit about Quran. But you should have this curiosity. For example, Surah Fatiha. I read Surah Fatiha every day.
Yep.
What am I reading?
Yeah, what am I reading? Just as
And I would say that there's Surah Fatiha,
yeah.
the three kuls,
Okay.
Kul Huwallahu Ahad, Kul A'udhu Bi Rabbin Nas, Kul A'udhu Bi Rabbil Falaq.
Yes.
Those three you should know very well.
Okay.
And for me, the most amazing surah is Surah Duha.
Oh.
If you understand Surah Duha, you will never be sad.
Oh.
It's as simple as that.
SubhanAllah.
If you don't understand Surah Duha, you will be sad regularly.
Yeah. Thank you, Doctor, for that tips. I think it's going to be beneficial for everyone who's watching, who wants to take the step towards the Quran and what surah to begin with. Alhamdulillah, Dr. shared his opinion, and I hope this channel, what you are going to do afterwards in this channel, will benefit you all, because there's many discussion. I won't say discussion. It's just a reflection of the Quran that will be very simple and related to how is the Quran giving meaning to our life, inshallah. So, any last words maybe before we end our session?
I think thank you to the cameraman.
Yeah,
and thank you to the person who will edit this video. But that's all.
Thank you very much. I hope this will be a very beneficial thing for you who are watching, and please share it with other people so that they can be inspired with Dr. Rizwan's journey in searching the truth, Islam itself, and maybe inspire everyone to read the Quran and interact with the Quran, inshallah. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum.